Girlies, as I am in the midst of like talking to someone, and in the midst of talking to someone like for real sees that I actually like someone that I don't make it seem like I don't, but I actually like them and care for them. And then I realized when you like someone, you actually want to build a real relationship with someone, you have to learn how to not only take accountability for your actions, but not be so selfish, literally. And I think a part of me got so self-absorbed in my own space and my own energy that, and so blocked in my old ways of thinking and feeling, and also blocked in my old relationships that had where there was a whole different like mindset. And like I feel like when you are approaching anything new, you have to move in a different mindset than what you did previously, especially if that past thing was toxic. You have to move from a different energy. You got to move from a different mindset. You got to move from a different way of thinking, because if you don't, you will repeat the same mistakes. You have to be more slow. You have to be more intentional. I noticed that I didn't almost fuck up. He's very understanding. I could have fucked up, but I understood that I was actually with someone who I actually wanted to be with. And I realized I want to be with someone who's more slow, who's more present, who's more like in tune with themselves. And what I realized about people like that is you don't rush them to make conclusions or understandings that you get to, or you see, or you view. No, you take accountability for your actions and what you may have done to create circumstances where there was lack in communication or whatever. You have to take accountability for yourself and for what mistakes you have made that could have correlated to situations happening in the way that it happened. Not saying don't sit there and like hurt yourself and blame yourself and berate yourself and make yourself feel bad. That's thinking in the old mentality. What did I say? When we're approaching something new, we don't approach it from the old mentality. When I'm telling you to take accountability, I'm not telling you to get into the mindset that you're a horrible person, you're disgusting, you're ill. No, you see the situation for what it is, and then you make changes. That's how you take accountability. You take a you go into awareness of what circumstances and what you may have been doing, right? And then you do the action of changing. That's how you take accountability. Not by, I'm such a bad person, I'm such a shitty person. No, you're not a shitty person. You made a mistake. See the mistake for what it is and take the responsibility to change the circumstances that you would have previously thought couldn't be changed. Because what I'm realizing is that any circumstance can be changed, any situation can be changed, no matter how it may look, if you take time to take responsibility for that very action. Period. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect at this shit, but I feel like you start off with something that's easy for you. If money's an easy thing for you, if relationships is an easy thing for you, if health is an easy thing for you, if self-love is an easy thing for you, find one healthy thing to think of differently that is the most easiest for you. You want to prioritize doing something that is the most easiest for you to understand. You don't want to if you're bad with money and good with love, why the fuck would you choose money to start off with? Does that make sense to you? That don't make sense to me. Start with what is easiest for you to understand and be more open and receptive to take accountability and change your mindset for. And in doing that, you are going to change everything in your life. Everything else will start to ripple and change because you are changing actively in one. If you change in one particular area of your life, you're going to start seeing ways how you can change other areas of your life. And that starts with accountability. I realized and like I said, the places, and when it came to me taking accountability, my first thing wasn't to be mean to myself. That was not it. It was literally to be like, dang, that was crazy. Dang, I was thinking in the old mindset. Dang. I don't blame myself. I don't berate myself. I don't hurt myself. I don't make myself feel bad about it. I understand it. And then I'm like, okay, what can I do to change how I was moving in the past? And take action on that. And know that you are learning. You're learning. You're not going to be perfect at it, because guess what? You are trying a whole new motherfucking mindset. And if you're trying a whole new mindset, a whole new perspective, take your time, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself in the process of doing it. Do not hurt yourself, because it's just going to make you not want to change. It's going to make you think, oh, there's no possible way for me to change. I don't deserve to change. You're going to feel that, yeah, a mindset like that. I don't deserve to change. I don't deserve a second chance. I don't deserve. You do. You 100%ers do. And I'm using something that feels the easiest for me to understand, because there is parts of me, even my ego's coming up and reminding me of places where I haven't taken accountability yet. And it is screaming at me, you still ain't do this though, wanting that perfection. Your ego will say anything to make you feel like you are not right, to make you feel like the old mindset is where it's safest, it's the best place to be. The old mindset is the best place to be. It is exactly where. No. Choose the easiest way to take accountability. Find the easiest place in your life to take accountability and change your mindset from, and move in that direction, and trust the process. Trust the process. Even when the old mindset comes up and screams at you, this, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? What about this? Make it a habit. Make it a habit to change your way of thinking. Because it was an immediate shift for me. It was an immediate shift for me to realize where I was in the wrong. And it took time for me to understand that, and that's okay. Self-love is important. Self-love is so important in any of these aspects. So if I had to suggest choosing one to focus on, self-love. Because if you have self-love, you have everything. I'm not just saying if you have self-love, you have everything, because it's so much easier to take accountability when you have self-love. Because you're not punching yourself. You're lifting yourself up. And you're moving yourself in a different, instead of punching yourself down to the ground. This is what accountability looks like with self-love. Instead of punching yourself down to the ground, you're picking yourself back up and you're moving in the other direction. The direction towards change. Because what does beating yourself up do? It just keeps you on that ground. You're hurt, you're bruised. You don't want to get back up. But what does accountability with self-love does? It gently picks you up and it directs you towards the right direction. So accountability with self-love is the direction to go in any way. Is that okay, bye.